Awesome. Great to be here, everyone. As James said, I've been the first sale hire at two startups, which means I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to sell a product with no marketing, sometimes no customers, no brand. And often businesses that I sell to aren't aware that they have a problem yet. So proof of concepts and trials have been a really effective way for me to help them see that problem and help them see the value in solving that. So today I'm going to talk through some of the things that I've learned along the way. To me, I've boiled this down to four things: success criteria, who can say no in a proof of concept, having isolated conversations throughout them, and not underestimating training for a short proof of concept. It's really important and often gets overlooked. So if we start with success criteria, there's 3 points really I want to touch on. So firstly, what makes good success criteria? Now, for me, this is the single most important thing in any POC. It often takes 10 or 15 minutes in one meeting out of maybe 20 that you've had with a prospect. But it should be so black and white as to whether at the end of the POC it has been a success or not. No grayness to it. And that really allows you to kind of isolate the technical part and those requirements from the rest of the deal. So once the POC is finished, we don't have to be talking about the features and the requirements or the benefits of that anymore. So make sure your customers are writing it in their own words, not yours. Try and make it measurable. If we think about Cognism, ZoomInfo, and trying to purchase and run trials of those software, we might want to say, I want to find more email addresses in the US. That's okay, but we can make that a lot better. And we might want to say, I want to find 200 emails for these accounts of brand new contacts that I can't find email addresses in, or of these accounts where I don't have their email, I want to fulfill 80% of them with fresh contact information. So we can really ask follow-up questions and make it far more measurable of that. And then make sure it's assigned to a stakeholder. You probably have 4, 5, 6 stakeholders in your deal. Tag them with each success criteria so you know who did it, why it's important to them. Make it collaborative. A really easy way to do this is to share your screen like I'm doing now, get a table up, get a document up, and flesh it out together in a group. You'll find people will naturally collaborate, they'll put their opinions forward, and it allows you to easily track who's not said something as well. And then close with certainty. There's 2 questions I like to ask at the end. The first one checks if someone's missing. So we might say, Mr. Customer, we've got some great success criteria here. One thing I was thinking is there anyone from the business that hasn't had a chance to input into this document that you think would be important to? And we can then check if someone's missing. The second question is, have we got any criteria missing? So, Mr. Customer, if we were to completely put price aside and the platform delivered on everything that we've written on this table, is there any reason why you wouldn't purchase our solution? Purely from a functionality point of view. So we're isolating the price, we're focusing just on the technical and the functionality, and that will get them thinking and pause after that question so they can come back with anything that's worrying. Who can say no? So often in sales, we focus so much on who can say yes. Are they the decision maker? Do they have enough power in finance? Are they the economic buyer? In a POC, the person who says no will trip you up. If you actually think about this, often the people involved in our proof of concepts are junior or entry level roles. And I've had a really poor situation in the past where we were about to move to the legal process. The decision maker had said yes, but then it was actually an assessor who came up and said, no, this doesn't work for me. Similar to like an SDR and ZoomInfo, if we're not able to find those contacts or in Cognism, they have the power to actually say no. So make sure you focus on that. Having isolated conversations, which sounds unusual, but you want to speak with your stakeholders on a one-to-one basis as well as in a group. So firstly, this enables you to kind of risk mitigate on the deal. You can find out if someone's unhappy, if they have additional requirements, if there's a problem or a bug with their account. We've all experienced this. So you can isolate that off and find out on a one-to-one basis. On the flip side, you're able to highlight your successes. So you can find out some great use cases and then really dig into why that's been successful with the person, and then air that in a room with more people in there to kind of show that success. And then finally, it allows you to unearth more information. If we all think about having our champion either on the phone, on a meeting, in a one-to-one, they're going to give a lot more information to you. They're going to help you provide ROI, talk to you about the paper process or the buying process, whatever it might be. So you can really get a lot more information out of people when you speak to them on a one-to-one basis as well. So really recommend having these going on, whether it's on Slack, on the mobile phone, or in meetings throughout you running your proof of concept. And then finally, don't underestimate training. You probably had a demo 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and this is not, even though you like to think it is, probably not the most important thing in this person's job of buying this piece of software from you. Especially if you have legal or due diligence work like I do with my POCs, that can add months to the sales cycle. So you want to make sure that they remember what the software does, and a great way to do this is getting them to share their screen when they have their account, and you walking them through the demo process with them clicking around. It's really important and amazing how many people will have forgotten to do this, and it definitely shouldn't be overlooked. And it allows you to guide them to the features that you know are going to maximize their ROI, or you know that are going to satisfy their success criteria. One really great thing as well is to put sessions in at the start. So often POCs will have a kickoff call on your agenda item. Put into booking training sessions or booking collaborative meetings, whatever you want to call it, and then schedule them in with the various stakeholders. So you know they're getting training, that you know that you know how to use the product. Most importantly, you can find out more stuff about them as well, and if anything's gone wrong. So to recap, I think probably I've overrun, but success criteria is really important in making the deal black and white as to whether it's been successful. Who can say no? Don't get tricked up by any nasty surprises. Have those isolated conversations with all your stakeholders, and don't forget to tell them how the product works, else they won't be able to get value from it.